Here in Monfalcone, Italy, where the Sun Princess is being crafted for its elegance, its style, and its grace. And this is the official float out. This is the moment where the water touches the ship for the very first time. It's an incredible experience. I'm honored to be here, and it's one of many firsts.
One of the main differentiators is that this ship will be running on LNG. This is really a major step for us. For Princess, it's definitely the first. It's also the first for concierge. Sustainability goals are a huge priority with Princess and the corporation. What I'm really excited about, both from a technical and marine standpoint, as well as a guest experience standpoint, is this is a true evolution within the Princess brand and within the Princess product.
I think the guest experience is going to be second to none. I think the Princess guests who sailed with us for a long time are going to come on board the Sun Princess and say, wow, there's a whole range of new experiences for them to experience on board, enjoy, explore. Going to be fantastic.
On the Sphere class vessels, obviously Sun Princess is the first ship of that class. We were very fortunate on the ship that we could start with a blank piece of paper, and now we have a 175,500 ton ship behind us, and we are setting forth on the future of Princess Cruises. Of course, we have this iconic dome on the top decks of our ship. We also have the Princess Arena, which is our sort of evolution of the Princess Entertainment venue. As a result, we sort of can control the entire environment.
I felt really, how can I say, thankful and grateful to Princess for being chosen as the madrina for the float out. I was really excited to cut the cord, and once I did it and the bottle smashed the side of the ship, I was like, wow. And it also hit me, you know, I was overwhelmed by all the emotions. Seeing the crowd, you know, I shed some tears.
This is the very first time the water is going to touch the ship. So this is a very significant milestone for all of us at Princess or at Fincantieri. This is a very important day.
Over the past 25 years, I've seen different class of ships. This is something new, something different. Something exciting for our guests and our crew. The vessel will leave the yard and will be relocated to a berth. And from there, phase number 2 of the project will start, where there will be lots of activities inside the vessel in order to build up the interiors. I believe we are witnessing the beginning of a new era. We are building the future of cruising.
Well, this is so exciting for me, and man, I love that spot so much. I have no idea who you guys are referencing, but it's a really cute spot.
Walter, I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, you should be able to hear me. Bret, let's see. Let's see. I am on. Stand by. Stand by. Did it do it again? No, my microphone is on. Bret, but I'm good. You not hear anything on your end? Are you muted?
Hear me?
I hear you just fine, Bret. But let's see. I hear you. I hear you just fine. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Obviously, we're having a little technical difficulty. He was hearing me just fine a moment ago, so hopefully, just check the audio settings there. Bret, and I'm going to vamp and say hi to everybody while he does that. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hopefully Bret will get that going again. He had it working just a moment ago. So welcome to the show. In fact, cheers, everybody, with my Princess mug. We're going to be doing a lot of talking about Princess. We're going to be talking about the Sun Princess and all that good stuff. Yeah. Thank you, Vanessa. Apparently, Bret is having a little difficulty just hearing me, which should be easy to do even from where he is, because, you know, I kind of talk a little bit loud and I talk a lot. So anyway, how's everybody doing out there? In case you haven't heard, while he's working on his audio there, Bret, you just let us know when you can hear us. While he's working on that, folks, let him know. let me see. Let me just get this up here real quick. We've got a group cruise coming up on the Sun Princess, that ship that you just saw float out. We have a group cruise happening on the Sun Princess, October 19th through the 26th, 2024. Now, this ship is selling like crazy. Our group, Bret, you got us? Are you back?
I can hear you.
Yes, Bret is back.
Anytime.
Right, we have technology.
I had to turn my headset back on and off. How's that? It's like, wow.
Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, folks, we have a group cruise coming up on the Sun Princess, October 19th through the 26th. Bret has actually thrown in a couple of little extra amenities for us, just being the nice guy that he is. But we'll be sailing October 19th from Fort Lauderdale, 7 nights with 3 sea days. And I picked this itinerary on purpose because I had 3 sea days, giving us plenty of time to explore the entire ship. Rebecca and I will be there. Now, here's the thing. The ship is selling like crazy. The mini suites gone. Half the balconies gone. A bunch of interiors gone. It's like a lot of stuff is gone, but the cabana mini suites are still there. Oh my God, they're so cool. So anyway, I'm so excited about it. You can tell I'm excited about this. A, I can't wait to get on the ship. And then B, I cannot wait to just see everything and see everybody. That's what I'm really excited about. So, hey, Bret, how you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, awesome, Bret. So this is really exciting for me because Princess was our very first cruise line. In fact, first 3 ships. We were on the Caribbean Princess. In fact, we talked about this. We went in 2006, and I think you were just starting at Princess.
Yeah, it started in 2006, and I think we were just right close to each other on that.
Wow.
Maybe even on the same cruise. It would have been fun.
That would have been cool if we were on the same cruise. Well, welcome. So, just on the off chance, I mean, I would find it hard to believe, but just on the off chance, somebody has no idea what this Princess Cruises is. They've never heard of Princess Cruises. Can you kind of describe for our audience, what is Princess and what are some of your differentiators?
You betcha. So first off, if they've never heard of Princess, if they've heard of the Love Boat, that is Princess, right? So that was back in the day, and we kind of got away from that for a while, and now we're embracing that again with Princess and with Love. That's our tagline, if you will, is love. And so we're really kind of embracing that. But so where do we sit in the whole scheme of things? So you have your luxury products, right? Your Regents, your Cunards, Seabourns, and so forth. And then you have your contemporary, which is going to be like the Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and NCL.
Right.
And then you have your premium, which is right in the middle of those two. And that's us. And that's going to be us, Holland America, Celebrity, and Disney. And we are in that kind of sweet spot. And so even with that, in that premium category, we feel that we give you the best value for the best price there. I mean, with what we give you, we're known for our service. We're known for our shows, and our entertainment on board is just phenomenal. And then, of course, now we have what we call the medallion. So if you've cruised on other cruise lines, you're still having the key card, and you have to go to open your door, you have to tap that or enter it into the door, right, to get in. With the medallion, it's the technology. It's really cool. You just have it on your person. And I should have one I could show you, but anyway.
Oh, I got it.
You have
Go ahead, keep talking.
Perfect. So what the medallion, so you walk up to your door and it will click open and you can walk right in. So for me, it's nice because I'm always carrying donuts and a coffee or, there you go. Perfect. So you got your Ruby and your Elite. Fantastic. So that's the medallion. It's about the size of a quarter, right?
And I love that they're actually personalized too. They actually personalize them as well.
Yeah. So just like your regular key card, where it had your name and the date of the ship and all that stuff that's on there. Okay.
Yeah.
So people always ask, well, is that reusable? No, we get a new one each time because the batteries, they don't last that long.
Right.
So even so that's, and then part of that technology with the medallion is it also allows you to be able to order food and drink from anywhere on the ship, and they will deliver it right to you. And then one of my favorite things is the tracker on it. So you can actually turn this off, but it's nice for my wife and I because we're always kind of losing each other when we're going different separate ways, and we would always on our cab or on our door, we do have one of those magnetic dry erase boards, you know.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we
yeah.
write, we just let it put a note, hey, I'm down by the, you know, in the piazza or wherever. And we,
Right.
by the time you get there, though, it's a lot of times you're gone doing something else. So with that tracker, you can actually find out, you know, find where they are, and it really does work.
Yeah.
We were testing it out, and within 5 feet,
Yeah, it does.
it's like wow, right there. So
Mhm.
that, and then the other parts of the medallion with the technology, and we're getting to where, you know, you're going to be able to, the servers and everybody will know if you have food allergies or and so forth, they'll be able to know that. just
Oh,
by
that'll
looking
be
up.
cool.
When you approach them, it'll pull up when you're going to order something, so they know to ask you, you know, if you've got a food allergy to this food allergy and so forth, and then let you know what you can and can't have in those different areas. So that's just
cool.
just a small part of it. That's really kind of what sets it apart. We have medium-sized ships, we have large ships, but the one thing I do love about our ships is that you can be on one ship and you can go on another one, and it feels just like the same, like the one. I mean, as far as where things are located and the names of everything, so it's easy to get around once you've been on one of our ships, right?
Yeah, it really is. And they're just absolutely lovely. And I would be remiss. John's here, Mushki's here, Betty's here, Vanessa, Becky, John again, Barbara, how are you? And Kaylin. Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you've got questions at all about Princess Cruises in general, or specific things, just ask. Barbara is asking if you guys go to the ABC Islands. Barbara, we would have to go ahead and dig into the itineraries and see if there is any specific cruise that hits all three of those islands. I have noticed, Bret, that there are fewer cruise lines actually hitting all three. It's like they'll do two or one, but they don't do all three.
So I know we do Curacao, we do Aruba. I'm not sure if we do Bonaire though. I haven't looked at our itineraries for next year on that close enough.
Yeah. I'll take a look, Barbara, after the show. I'll be glad to take a look. Hey, Joe, how are you? So the big thing that we're going to be talking about, that we're going to lead in with, you guys saw it in the countdown video there. The Sun Princess is coming very soon in February, and I talked about our group cruise. But actually, you know what? Before we hit that, you talked about the value of Princess. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. The value of Princess. Now, Princess has the Princess Plus, and you have the Princess Premier. And as somebody who sells cruises for a living, I think these are actually two of the best values at sea right now, when you look at the fact that it's drinks, Wi-Fi, and everything else. So why don't you kind of tell everybody a little bit about what Princess Plus and Premier is?
Okay, so these are things you're going to be buying anyway when you get on board. So Princess Plus and so Premier is the same thing. So there's three things that they have in common. So they're going to have gratuities included, our unlimited Wi-Fi, and then our ultimate drink package. Okay, those three things are included with the Princess Plus and Princess Premier. The difference with the Plus versus the Premier, so Plus is going to give you all those things, and then it'll give you 2 casual dining. So we've added, this is new for us. So we call them casual dining now. So that would be like our Salty Dog, our Planks, Crab Shack, Alfredo's Pizza, or Gigi's is going to be part of that that casual dining. So with those, you'll get 2 free casual dinings. And if you didn't have the package, that would cost you $15 a person to be able to go there to those different venues.
Well worth the $15.
It actually used to be 20, and we've lowered it down to 15. So it's really still a good deal for those that don't have the packages. So that includes that. It also includes your room service delivery fee. That's free. Also the Ocean Now. So we start charging for that service. If you don't have this package, it'll be it's like a $15 just one-time charge for the entire cruise to be able to have that. If you want to use that delivery service, if you're up on the deck or whatever, and you want to drink.
It is pretty doggone cool, people. You just like find something on the phone, you order it, you just sit and wait, and all of a sudden this person's just coming wherever you are on the ship. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Very cool.
It's really cool. It's just trying to help really eliminate the lines, if you will, on board with that part of it, right? The other 2 things, we give you 2 fitness classes, we give you 2 premium desserts, with that. It's kind of funny that we give you 2 premium desserts and we give you 2 fitness classes, right? And then
Somebody was thinking on that one.
and then the premium desserts are actually 2 per day. So we don't,
Yes.
give you 2 per day. So
So you
that's
should
what
have 2 fitness classes per day to go with the 2.
yeah, wouldn't that be nice? It's that one's only per cruise. So anyway.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
figured you could, I guess, work it off in one outing. So the Premier gives you all that, and then we also give you the photo package, which gives you unlimited digital and then up to 3 prints. Princess prizes, which is every time you enter in your cabin, you get it gives you a digital ticket, if you will, that enters you into the contest at the end. That where we give away free cruises, we give away cash. There's a bunch of different prizes we give away, so that's included with that.
Nice.
And then we have the premium desserts are unlimited, and so the fitness classes on that one. And then we're giving you the unlimited juice bar, which is actually really good. We went and tried that out when I was on board last time.
It is very good.
Actually really good. They need to speed up the process, but other than that, it was great. We do give you a medallion accessory. So with your medallion, it comes with a lanyard, with a little lanyard, and then with the premium thing, you can choose usually a clip-on or maybe a wrist bracelet type thing. Okay.
Nice.
And then you get the free Ocean Now delivery and room service with that. So the plus is going to be $60 per day. Now this is the deal. This is why it's such a deal. So if you're just buying the drink package or unlimited, it's like $70 a day per person.
I know.
Okay. So if you buy the Princess Plus, it's already included. Plus you get gratuities and your Wi-Fi and all those things I just listed on that. So that's $60. Then the Princess Premier is only $80. So you get all that for only $80 a day.
I know.
So it was interesting because I was watching a YouTube video a while back, and a gentleman was kind of breaking it down on if it was really worth to buy either one of these packages. And conclusion is yes, it's way worth it. So
yeah, this is one of the ones that it really works. This is a really good, fairly priced package.
Right, and we have a comparison because we did our research on some of the other brands, and the other brands they don't even come close to what we do and what we offer. I mean, their prices are outrageous. So
no, and what's amazing is that the drink package for the Plus, $15 drinks. I mean, that's a high number. Some of the other plans, other cruise lines, it might be $10, it might be $9 for that first level. You guys are hitting $15 right off the bat, and your coffee's phenomenal. Your cocktails are phenomenal. Boy, the Good Spirits bar, holy crap. I discovered that on the Sky Princess. That was my jam. I was there. Elliot, I wanted to bring Elliot home. He was from England. I just wanted to bring him home to make my drinks.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, yeah, it really is worth it, folks. I mean, I know there was some discussion when, quote unquote, oh, they're taking things away. Well, seriously, if you're going to get Wi-Fi, that's what I always tell everybody. If you're going to get Wi-Fi, then you might as well get the package because it's just going to, get right in there. So,
yeah.
Great.
Give you the bottled waters as well. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. If you're not a big drinker, it's still worth it.
And Greg is reminding us too. We get the two specialty dinners too.
Oh,
with
that's
the,
right. Yes,
Premier.
thank you. Thanks, Greg, for reminding me. I left that one out.
Yeah, so Sabatini's, we got Crown Grill. Oh my God, with Sun Princess, we've got 50 places to eat now or something like that. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Hey, Nurse Tara, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. So now without further ado, let's talk about that new ship, the Sun Princess. This thing was freaking unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So why don't you lead us in? What is the Sun Princess?
So the Sun Princess is a whole new class of ship for us. We call it the Sphere class, and it's our biggest ship to date. So right now, our Royal class ships, like the Royal Caribbean, the Royal Princess, the Regal, and so forth, they hold 3,600 passengers, and they're about 143,000 tons. So the new class, our new Sphere class, is 4,300 passengers, and it's 175,000 tons. So it's a lot bigger. But the one thing I want to point out is so for a lot of the other cruise lines, a ship this size, they pack on around 6,000 guests. So we don't do that. We give you still a lot of what is it, space ratio, if you will, to the guest ratio. So it's really you still have room to really move around and not feel like you're on board with thousands of people. So that's
right.
We call it the sphere class. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, what that means and why we call it the sphere class.
And one of the things I want to point out to everybody is you see that sphere on the side of the ship about halfway back. Those are balconies. Like those are actual cabins with balconies coming out onto the sphere, which I didn't realize until I took a good look at the deck plan. I'm like, oh my God, they're actually extended balconies on that sphere. And it is so freaking cool. I just love the more I learn about this ship, the more excited I get about this ship. It is just so freaking amazing.
It is. It's the first ship that's going to be powered by LNG, which is great. So environmental friendly, if you will. That's good.
And you guys you made some big restaurant announcements today, and this is the first thing that I'm putting up here. We got O'Malley's Irish Pub, we've got the Promenade, we've got Umai Teppanyaki, and then the Good Spirits Bar that I was just talking about. You're really setting yourselves up for some fine dining on this ship.
Right, and you notice that they're in different locations. So normally our pizza and all that stuff would be up by the pool area, so we've kind of brought this down to a different deck. I'm not sure what deck this is on as of now yet, but we've kind of moved things around a bit, so it's gonna be a little bit different on how you access them, which I think is gonna be kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, and it's going to be nice for the guests to be walking around, and we all know the piazza. Well, this does not look like the piazza on any other Princess ship whatsoever. What an amazing new design.
Right, and so this is what we love. This is why we call it the sphere class. So see how you're normally on those decks, you see those people up on the second and third deck and so forth. Normally we'd have our either restaurants up there or our shops and so forth. So what we've done is we open it up so you can look through. So we really want to be able to, with this ship, be able to look out instead of looking in. So most ships you're always looking inside, right? So this one we want you to look out and be able to see the views of the ocean. And so with this piazza, obviously it's going to be our largest piazza to date. But we started calling it the Piazza, Cal, probably, I want to say 10 years ago, we started this piazza. And the reason we did is it used to be called the atrium, but it just really wasn't utilized. People weren't, it would kind of a pass through, if you will. So we started bringing on what we call street performers and have these little 5-minute performances down here. And it just really drew people into this area. And it's really the heart of the ship now, right? So we have all these different performers down there. And so that's what is really neat, is to be able to have those different performers down there. You see the big LED screen there, that actually will move. You can move that around the entire piazza. So it can change, obviously change scenery and do different things on there. But that's going to be really cool, I think, to be able to have that ability and be able to see that. So it's just really, as you walk in, especially when our Royal class ships came out, you walked in on that deck and it's like, wow, it just kind of took your breath away with how beautiful they were. The piazza is. And I think this is going to be more so.
It really does. It really does. And what I noticed when we were on the Sky Princess, that was our first cruise in a while. And on Princess, the piazza was really used a lot more during the day. Like the cruise director staff was doing games out there. There was a lot of things going on that I really had not seen before, because like you said, it always was kind of like this closed space, whereas on the Royal class, it's this big, open, lots of light coming in. It's stunning.
Yeah, lots of seating. So you see all the seating around there, so people actually have seats. So the problem with the piazzas now on our ships is there's not a lot of seating. So there's a lot of people standing and trying to, find places to be able to view the entertainment and things that are going on, which is fine, but this is going to be a lot better.
Wow. And I love Becky. Becky, hey, puppies in the piazza. Oh, man, can you imagine the puppies in this piazza? They'll be running everywhere.
Seriously.
And that is one of the features of Princess in Alaska. We'll be talking more about Alaska later, but yes, they bring sled dog puppies onto the ship in the piazza.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely love it. And then talking about performance areas, this new arena is going to be absolutely freaking insane.
It is. The technology that we have in there is just, I mean, it's above amazing. So this is what's cool is, so this can actually be transformed. So you have that arena feel. So you have, the 360-degree views, if you will, with that center stage. That center stage will actually move back. So it goes back, and so it'll be more of a traditional theater as well. And then you've got the big LED screen in the background that'll be used for different backgrounds and changing things like that. So it's going to be really a fun experience in that theater to see what type of different performances we can have there and do in that area to kind of switch things up a bit.
Yeah, and I've been watching. If you're here on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to Adam Savage's Tested channel yet, he's doing a multi-part series on the building of the Sun Princess, and he really went behind the scenes to show how this theater can, like you said, it can be in 3 different configurations: 360, 270, or a traditional proscenium stage. I cannot wait to see. And I will say, you talked about the entertainment earlier. I think Princess's entertainment is some of the most underrated at sea, because your shows are phenomenal. Broadway caliber singing, Broadway caliber staging, Broadway caliber everything. And on the Sky Princess, your cast did 3 complete original shows in 1 week, which is amazing that they can learn all the music, all the choreography, all the everything. And it just looks and sounds amazing. So folks, if you've never been on a Princess ship, the entertainment is probably going to surprise you. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't know it was that good.
Yeah, so it's an interesting story. Well, at least for me it was. So I was on board, and we had a group of advisors on, and I had the Princess, or the Disney rep, with me. She's a good friend of mine, Lynn, and we went to the show that night. It was our new one from Steven Schwartz. Well, it's not new anymore, but it was called Magic to Do.
Oh, we love that show.
Isn't that great? And she
she
leans over and she goes, Bret, this reminds me of a Disney production. This is really good. It's like, wow. So
yeah,
kudos.
It even had some pyro at the end too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, we saw that on The Crown Princess. What a great show. Great show.
Yeah, so Steven Schwartz, he did some really good shows for us. So we're going to have Circus Olay is going to be on board the new Sun Princess up at the top, on the top dome area that we have up there, which will be really, really neat.
Wow. Here, since you mentioned the dome, I'm just going to go ahead and bring that up and show everybody. So, and I've only got the nighttime shot. So during the day, everybody, this is basically an indoor pool. And then at night, well, more than an indoor pool, obviously, it's a big terrace. And then at night, like Bret was just saying, there will be performances happening up here. So why don't you tell folks about what's going to be happening up here?
So that's going to be, it's going to be more like a South Beach vibe up in the evening time. So we'll close the pool, we'll cover the pool up, and we have some water features and stuff, but that'll all be, so in the evening time, it's going to be for entertainment. And so we're going to have that, like I said, we have Cirque du Soleil is going to be on board doing some shows from the Sun Princess, which are about 20 to 30 minute shows on board up there. So it's really going to be a fun experience, I think, with that feel. And the dome is the first of its kind ever at sea. This is just going to be really, I think, like I said, really cool experience.
I mean, it's absolutely stunning that you were able to pull this off. And I believe, if I remember correctly, watching Adam's vlog, you can actually swim out from under the dome and actually go outside and then swim back.
Oh, really? That's new to me. I didn't know. Adam would know more than I would, because he's been there.
They were up on top, and they were showing this one spot, and he's like, "Can you actually swim out?" And the engineer was like, "Yeah, you'll be able to swim right out and go out to here." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, that'll be kind of cool."
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, this is going to be a stunning showpiece. At first when we all saw the ship and the renderings and whatnot, it's like, well, what's that big bubble doing up there? And now I certainly did not imagine something like this going inside. And, this entire ship, as I look at things, it's like, okay, I've never seen anything like this before. This is not a Princess ship. This is like an amazing this really feels like, Princess has always been known as kind of like an Italian inspired cruise line. This really feels like the whole ship was inspired by Italy. It really does.
Yeah. And that's what they say. They said this was inspired by the cliffs of Santorini. the way that it's layered up there. So.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can totally see that. Wow. Wow. All right. Let's take a look at a little bit more. So this is brand spanking new for you guys. I mean, it's like everything is new on this ship, but this Park 19, I know there's some spirited discussion going on about Park 19.
Right.
So why don't you tell us the thought process behind this one?
Yeah, so I mean, we're never going to be the rock climbing, the water slides, all that stuff. But we did need some things added to. I mean, because we do have a lot of families on board. Believe it or not, a lot of families come on board. And in fact, my boys grew up going, and they love it. And I have nieces and nephews that just absolutely love it. Don't want to leave the kids program. But this just gives more options for the families to gather and do some fun things. We have the rope obstacle course there. We have the splash pad for the kids, and then we've got this kind of between a zip line and a what do they call it? Flying, if you will, that goes around this track, that goes around around that track. So, and then we'll have places to be able to play pickleball and basketball and all that up there, and of course a running track will be up there. So a great place to get out and work out, exercise, and then just enjoy some time with the family. So I think it's going to be a real big hit for us.
I think it's brilliant because, that area of the ship, if you've been on any Princess ship, it's kind of a dead space up near the funnels. It's like, well, let's just put a bunch of lounge chairs out here, but you never see anybody there.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a great use of quote unquote dead space. And you're moving all the kids up to the top. So instead of hanging out by the pool and whatnot, now all the kids are going to start moving up to the top. And I think it's a brilliant use of the space. And I think people are surprised that Princess is a family cruise line. You don't have the water slides, you don't have the rock climbing wall, but it is interesting how many kids are on there because we've never had kids, but we've heard repeatedly that your kids programs and teens programs are amazing on board.
Yeah, they are. And it's, what happens is, the parents go, they bring their kids, and their kids fall in love with it, and then they just kind of perpetuate, or the grandparents bring the grandkids and so forth. And so they just, it's a great multi-generational cruise line. We do a great job with that.
I think that's a great way to say it. Princess is a good multi-generational cruise line. Hey, folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel. I'm an independent travel advisor. We're here with Bret from Princess Cruises, talking all things Princess. Of course, we're keying in on the Sun Princess because it is a brand new ship. But if you have any questions at all about Princess or the ships or anything like that, we'll do our best to answer. Just drop them into the comments. And of course, if we can help you in any way to sail on a Princess ship, just reach out to us at Where's Walter Travel. There are links in the description down below as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. And please be sure to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should subscribe. I do a lot of weird stuff on here and fun stuff. So, and last but not least, the one thing that we haven't looked at yet, your new accommodations. Holy shamoly, people. These rooms are gorgeous.
They are. The one that I'm really excited about is the Cabana mini suite that you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
That's the one that I'm really excited about because it gives you just some extra space, if you will, an extra living space on there. And we don't have the overhead shot of this, but if you look up the right-hand corner there,
no.
The right-hand corner one, that Cabana, there's a kind of, I don't want to call it a breezeway, but it's an extra where we have a sofa and kind of a living space there that actually we block off from the balcony itself, and then also from the room, where you can open up the room door and have that extend into that area, or you can open up all of it and it extends out into the balcony. So it's really going to be a cool thing.
I think it's a cool thing. I love the brightness of it all too. Like the rooms are really nice and bright now.
Right. Yeah, the decor and all of our balconies, we're going to have sofas in them. Where we haven't in the past, just our deluxe balconies have had the sofas.
Right.
So now all the balconies will be considered deluxe, if you will. And then the other big news is we are going to glass shower doors. So no more of the shower curtain attacking you while you're in the shower. Right?
Yes. Yes. Don't need to bring the clips anymore to clip them down, so they don't come after you.
Yeah. So I don't know why it's taken us so long to figure this out, but we finally figured it out. So.
It took until the Sphere class for you guys to
Right.
finally get those in there. But yeah, even that deluxe ocean view. I mean, look at the size of that thing and the sofa and all that in there. I am amused by seeing coffee machines everywhere. I'm assuming that the coffee machine, are they really going to be in every cabin, or did they just kind of throw them in the renderings?
I believe they are, but don't quote me on that. So.
Okay, because I know the mini suites are going to have them because it says that in the description. But then I'm like, somebody got happy with the coffee machine and put it everywhere.
And that probably could have been the case. They got a little bit too happy with it.
Yeah, but it's almost like leaning into what you said. You wanna look out rather than look in. Everything's gotten brighter, more airy, if you will, and even these cabins have just gotten much more airy and brighter, and they are just stonking amazing.
They are. And so one thing I'll point out too, Walter, is our Cabana mini suites. They're going to have their own restaurant, and so will So it's going to be the reserved restaurant. So they'll have their own restaurant, and then also the signature suites will have their own restaurant as well. Nice. So in the past, we've sectioned off. Well, that's what we do now on our other ships. Is we've sectioned off a portion of one of the dining rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was called club class at the time. And that's where they would go. They'd have their tables that you go to each night, or breakfast or lunch, what have you. But now we're going to have a whole separate dining room for each of those. The Cabana.
We did that when it was still club class. Really loved it. It's such a nice elevated experience, and we've had some clients do the reserve. So if you didn't quite catch that, folks, the Cabana mini suites are actually part of the reserve collection. So if you have a Cabana mini suite, you get all of the benefits of the Reserve Collection mini suite, including the new restaurant that's being built. And what's interesting about the Cabana, I actually just booked one of these today.
Oh, did you?
You actually have two different types of, you have a Cabana mini suite that are literally right up onto the edge of the ship. You've got your traditional balcony looking out, and then you can just come into the Cabana and hang out, or you've got like what the picture's showing here, where you can just literally just walk out into basically a big Cabana sun deck area.
Right. Yeah, and they share them with a few of the other cabanas. So it's a private area, but it is shared with some other ones. They've got their own little hot tub there, and like you said, the views are just amazing. Just be able to sit there. There's nothing in the way to block your views.
Absolutely. And so John is asking, what is the reserve experience like on the Sun Princess? So he's coming on our group cruise in October. So this is going to be his first Princess cruise. So can you kind of describe?
Yeah. So basically what it's going to be, you're going to be having your own restaurant. So you can go anytime so when the restaurants are open, normal restaurants are open, those will be open as well. And you don't have to stand in line or whatever. You just go right to your table and they'll seat you, and you'll be able to have this, just a private experience there in the reserve class, not with, hundreds of other guests. You're going to have just those in the reserve class. So that's really the biggest thing with is just the restaurant.
Yeah. And like you were saying, most of the other ships with the reserve, like we had it with club class, it's like a section of the main dining room. You're still in the main dining room, but it's like your own section. But now it's actually going to be a restaurant. It's going to be its own dedicated restaurant, which is really nice. I love that. And so that pretty much wraps us up on the Sun Princess, at least for my pictures and my slides and all of that. This is going to be just a stonking amazing ship, everybody. And I mean, I want to bring up my graphic again. Wait, hold on. I got my graphic. There it is. So if you guys want to come on the ship with us, I mean, Rebecca and I are going to be there. Y'all want to meet Rebecca. Y'all want to meet the mysterious Rebecca that you never get to see on camera. This is your opportunity to do it. Yeah, Bret, if you've never seen our Sunday shows, Rebecca is off camera. She's like the voice of reason behind the camera. Yeah. And I'm on, and everybody's like, where's Rebecca? Well, if you come on this ship, if you come on this cruise on the Sun Princess, you will get to meet Rebecca, the mysterious Miss Rebecca. So October 19th through the 26th, 2024. It is selling very quickly. We're going to San Juan, St. Thomas, and we're going to go to Princess Keys, which we actually haven't been to Princess Keys in a while.
Oh, you're going to love it. That's one of my favorite stops. I love that stop.
It's a nice stop. Yeah. And then we're going to have 3 glorious sea days. So we're going to have plenty of time. And I'm hoping to arrange a cabin crawl too, so we can go around and explore everybody's cabin, see what all the cabins are like. We've got a nice cross selection of cabins right now. But I will say, if you're thinking about joining us, please do not wait, because literally every time I go into the booking engine, like another category is sold out. They're just, this ship is selling really, really well. So you can reach out to me at info@where'swaltertravel.com, or go down into the description. There's the links down there. So I hope you can join us. I love meeting y'all on the ship. That's like the best thing in the world, is getting a chance to meet y'all on the ship. So I hope y'all can come along and join us. So now let's talk a little bit about, the other thing that you guys do so flippin' well, and that's Alaska. I think you guys are just one of the best, if not the best, cruise line in Alaska.
Well, we have been voted #1 for 19 years straight, so we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, I'm saying Alaska, yeah, it is our bread and butter, and it is something we do very, very well. And there's a few factors involved there, right, to what makes it so good. Our relationships up there with everybody that we work with is a big part of that. We have our own lodges up there. So when you're doing a cruise tour, we have our own lodges. We have 5 lodges up in that area. So we have our McKinley Lodge and our Denali. This one down here is the Kenai, or that's the Denali Lodge there. The Kenai and the Copper River are small lodges. They only hold 80 people. But our McKinley, Denali, and Fairbanks are kind of that's where everyone is going to go.
Yeah.
If you go depends on what kind of cruise tour you do. But those are, and part of the reason they're so great is look at how they're right on the rivers and beautiful views. My favorite one that I've been to has been McKinley. And the reason it is, because it's right down, it's right at the base. When I say base, I mean you're miles away, but the base of Mount Denali. But the views, once the mountain's out, the views are incredible there, with a big wraparound balcony. And we had, a few years ago, we had Treehouse, what's it called? It's on
the Treehouse Masters.
Yeah, Treehouse Masters. Thank you. They come up and did a treehouse for us above the lodge, and the views up there are even better than the lodge. It's like, just amazing. We were up there, and the mountain was out. She was out 3 days in a row, which was unbelievable.
Wow.
And to be able to see those views was incredible. So the lodges set us apart. We also have what we call the direct to the wilderness that we offer, so that we're the only ones that actually go into Whittier, which is an old naval port just outside of Anchorage. And so we dock there, and you literally walk, if you're doing what we call a northbound sailing, so you're doing the cruise first. Yeah. We dock there, and you literally walk off the ship, across the road, and onto the train. And we train you up into Denali. And most everyone else will actually just bus you up there. So the train ride is awesome. It's about a 9.5 hour ride, depending on the traffic on the rail with Alaska Rail Service. But we have these big, beautiful cars with the domes. Everyone gets a great seat with the big dome, glass dome on it. And then we have restaurants. I have a restaurant on board, so you can go down and have you can have breakfast and lunch down there. And they do a great job with the food. It's amazing food. I've done it a couple times and just love it. And it's great because you can relax. You can see the scenery. We have games there if you want to play games. It's just a fun experience, that train ride up there into Denali. The other thing that sets us apart. I was going to say, so we have our round trip Seattle's, we have our round trip San Francisco, and then we have a round trip Los Angeles, and then we do have a round trip Vancouver as well. But the one that really ties into the one that you have to do if you want to do the land portion is the one ways. So we call it the Voyage of the Glaciers. So that's either going from Vancouver up to Whittier or Whittier down to Vancouver. And on this map, if you look at the map there, so let me point out real quick the difference with our Seattle's versus our Vancouver's or San Francisco's with that. So we start out in Vancouver, and we stay on the Inside Passage the entire time, all the way through, through Victoria and all the way in the Inside Passage when we do those one ways. What happens when you do the round trip Seattle's is we actually are on the outside of Victoria, and then we go on the Inside Passage. So you're missing that whole section there. Victoria Island, which is, I think, a big highlight. And that's a lot of people love to go up through the Inside Passage because there's, the scenery is just incredible up in there. So I always recommend, even if you're not going to do the land portion with this, I always recommend at least doing the Voyage of the Glacier.
Yeah.
Because of that, and then also because we do 2 glacier viewings on that. We give you Glacier Bay, always Glacier Bay, and then we give you either Hubbard Glacier, which would be a southbound sailing, and then on a northbound sailing, we give you College Fjord. Okay,
and that's
so
amazing.
I don't know of anybody else that really does that. That gives you the 2 glacier viewings on a cruise like that. So it's really a highlight. And if you've never been there, Glacier Bay is incredible. I mean, it's like when you're up there seeing this thing calve, and you can't imagine how big of the chunks of ice are, right? I mean, it's like bits of buildings or cars are coming off that and just thundering into the ocean.
I mean, I believe that's Glacier Bay, right?
I believe so.
So and that's what it looks like when you're there.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's
unreal.
So there's, I'll point this out too. So there's let me ask you this question, Walter, see if you can guess it. So I always I always say get a balcony, but if you can't, if you're not going to get a balcony, there's 2 destinations I say you have to have a balcony. What do you think those destinations are? Any idea?
For me, it would be Alaska and Greece.
Okay, good. So that's Greece is great. Alaska for sure. The other one I say always get a balcony is Panama Canal.
Oh yeah.
Because you're going through the canal and you want to be right there, right on that with the balcony.
Yeah.
I have a picture of me when I was on board years ago with a group of advisors, and they ran out of balconies, so I was down in the inside cabin. So when we were in Glacier Bay, I was up on the deck with everybody else with inside cabins. I'm literally like 2 or 3 people back, tippy-toeing, trying to see the glacier. So I took a picture of this, and then down below you can see all the balconies, and people were just on the balcony, just sipping their coffee or cocoa and just enjoying the view.
That's what we did. So so you see how the ship is lined up on the glacier. We actually had the aft cabin. Like literally, we were on the aft balcony. We were on the Sapphire. What a beautiful ship to do Alaska.
Yes.
And, when you're in here, you've got either a naturalist or you've got the National Park Rangers who are narrating. And one of the coolest things that y'all did was you had the narration on the bridge cam. So we were sitting on our balcony. We had the door open and we're listening to the bridge cam so we can hear the narrator while we're having hot chocolate on the balcony.
Yeah. Perfect. That's always what's saying. You can also turn it on. It should be on your TV in your cabin. You can also turn on the TV and then crank up the volume as well. But if you got it from the bridge cam, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that was fantastic. By the way, that's actually my picture of the Alaska Railroad. I'm in the Princess car. That's how long this train is. So I'm standing. Actually, I think I'm standing basically at the very back of the train, taking this picture. Now, when we did it, we actually went from Fairbank to Denali on the train. That's how we did it. We did the southbound.
Oh, we did. Okay. So you were doing the Princess Rail service, and then we have the direct rail service. Okay.
Which is, I mean, I try to convince anytime one of my clients calls me about going to Alaska, I say, do you have the time to do the land? And do you have 14 days? Because we did 7 days. We did Fairbanks, Denali, and Copper River. And wow, Copper River. I've never had salmon like that in my life. I probably never will again until I go back up there and have that salmon. And then, we picked up the ship in Whittier. And it's like Whittier is that city where everybody lives in one building, I believe, right? It's like that big apartment building. Everybody lives there. Yeah. And it's really spectacular. So I try to convince my clients and say, hey, if you've got the wherewithal to get up there, try to do a 7-day land sea. And I actually try to get them to do the land first, because I think the land is a little bit more active, and then you kind of you get pampered on the ship afterward.
Yeah. So that's a good point, because that's our most popular one is the southbound sailing, because people like to do the land first and then relax on the way down. If they want to save a few dollars, save a couple $100 or so per person to do northbound sailing, it's cheaper because it doesn't fill up as quick as our southbound. So that's
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay. That makes total sense. And again, I'll just put this map back up here. So this is the 2025 highlights. The 2025 sailings have been open for a while. They have been selling ridiculously well. as well. If you're thinking about going to Alaska, really, Princess is the way to go. They are the best cruise line. The only other one that I would recommend would be one of your sisters out there as well. But
Right.
Princess is just the way.
Yeah, it's
to
either
go.
us or them, and obviously I say us over them, but if you're going to choose, it'd be that, right?
And the San Francisco idea is kind of interesting. You basically get that round. You're basically getting the same cruise as if you were coming out of Seattle. You just
Right.
get a couple more days at sea. So if you wanted to, like, if you live in California, that's a great way to go to Alaska without having to fly up to Seattle, fly up to Vancouver, depending on where you live. I think that's a
Right.
really clever idea.
It is. One of the cool things I like about it is sailing underneath the Golden Gate Bridge is just a fun experience. You literally think you're going to hit the bridge as you're going overboard, 25, 30 feet away from it. You're up on the top deck just watching us go under. It's a fun experience to be able to go under the Golden Gate Bridge.
That is super, super, super cool. I love it. So folks, Alaska, Princess is definitely the way you want to go. It is where we lean in first whenever somebody says Alaska. We have sent so many clients up there on Princess, and every single one of them come back and like, oh my God, that's like, I took 3,400, 3,500 photographs when I was up there.
Wow, that's awesome.
I just
So you did
shooting
you
away.
do the 17-day one, Walter?
We did the 14.
Okay.
We did the 14. One thing I'd love for you to do, you have something called a cruise tour, and then you have a connoisseur cruise tour. Can you kind of explain what the difference is between those two?
Good. Yeah, that's a good. So we have actually 3 different. So we have our Explorer or Denali Explorer tours, which is, then we have our off the beaten path. Well, I guess we have 4. Off the beaten path, on your own, and then the connoisseurs. So the Denali Explorers, those are our most popular ones. Those are anywhere from 10 to the 14-day time periods. And then we have Off the Beaten Path, which can range from 13 to 15. And those, when we call them off the beaten path, that's because we're using usually like Copper River and our Kenai lodges for those. So you get a little bit, and those lodges are really out in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing along, right? Nothing there. And they're just, it's beautiful though, but it's just nothing there. And then we have our On Your Own, which is just basically your accommodations is all it's going to offer.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to have to piece together. So really, to be honest with you, if you're going to do the On Your Own to save money, it's really not going to save you money because you're going to be doing a lot of these things anyway. So you might as well just do one of our regular tours.
Might as well, right?
So with those ones, don't include like meals and an escort and so forth. With our connoisseurs, that gives you the meals, most meals included with that, and also gives you an escort or a guide with you the entire time you're on the land portion of it. So we also, with that one, will give you the Tundra tour, which goes all the way into the park versus our wilderness tour. So it's worth, I've done both of them. I'll tell you first, it's worth doing the Tundra tour over the wilderness. Even if if you booked one of the other ones, always upgrade to the Tundra tour. It's so much better. We saw 4 of the big 5 when we were on the Tundra. And on the wilderness, we saw a caribou and then a ma.
You don't go in far enough to see anything.
Right, you don't. Yeah. So just always do the Tundra tour when you're up there doing that. So the other thing with the connoisseurs is we guarantee that you'll be at the Fairbanks Lodge. So if you're going to the Fairbanks route, we guarantee you'll be at the Fairbanks Lodge. If you're doing the other ones, you could be at one of the Holland America properties, which is downtown. And it's still a great property. It's just not right on the river there like we have with our Fairbanks Lodge.
Yeah, and
we have that new one. We come out with our 17-day one that just opened up last year. And that includes all 5 lodges, which I would love to do. That would be amazing. So.
Oh, that looks so. I actually want to. It's like, we got to go back to Alaska, and I saw that. Like, oh, Rebecca, I found the one we're doing. We got to go on the 17-day. It looks spectacular. It looks absolutely spectacular. Yeah. And I think one of the coolest things, we were in Fairbanks, and we were there in May, going the first week of June. So the sun went down, but it didn't go all the way down. It just kind of stayed along the horizon. So we had that twilight. So we had an excursion that started at 10:30 at night. We went to the Chena Hot Springs and the Ice Museum.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. We came back at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was like, Yeah, we're just kind of awake and doing our thing.
That's
So
awesome.
freaking cool.
It
So
is
freaking cool.
You know, each time you go up there, it's a different experience. It's so neat. You know, so much to see.
Yes. Hey, John is asking, do we know, do you have any idea when all the final detail? Because I noticed like there's some things on the deck plan coming soon, and there was some hint about a black door. There's a restaurant that's blocked off by a black
There's a
door.
black door. We don't know what's behind it yet, and it's been a teaser.
Oh.
It should be coming out. I think by the end of the month, we should have the information on what's behind the black door, and then the rest of it should be out by in October sometime. We should have the rest of the deck plans and what's going on, because we're close. We're only a few months away, so we know what's going to be going on.
Can you believe it? I mean, February.
Right.
February. Wow. She's. I know the Mediterranean. It's hard to book on that ship right now. She's been extremely popular over there. We just had some folks. You know, we had a group of like 10 people. It was like, hey, can we get you all on there? I'm like, yeah, I can put you all over the ship. We've got cabins all over the place. That ship is selling so incredibly well. I can't wait to see it in person.
Yeah.
But yeah. And by the way, she's Panama Canal ready. I learned that from the Adam Savage thing. I didn't realize she could fit through the Panama. Yeah, apparently she can fit
with the new locks. Yeah, she'll be able to sit in the new locks.
Yeah, and I noticed she was all squared up when I saw it, because you know a lot of the modern ship they kind of flare out the aft, but her aft is squared up, so she can go on through.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, that opens up interesting possibilities.
Yeah, that's
in the future.
Right. So it's. Have you done the Panama before? Have you been down? Have you done that one?
We only did the partial. We did the Island Princess. What a lovely ship! And what was really cool for me, we did have a balcony, but was when we went into the lock, the promenade, like I could have just stepped right off the ship onto the land. The promenade was like level with the land. That was so cool.
So you did the old locks then, right?
Yeah, we did the old locks. Yeah.
Which I've done. We've done both the new and the old, and if you've never done it, always do the old first. It's just that's just such a cool experience, because you literally, like you said, you're right there. And we were going through, and we had big tankers coming across the other side. So there's two-way traffic with the old locks. With the new locks, it's just one-way traffic. So it's one of it was. I would highly recommend it. If you guys haven't done that, Panama.
Yeah, the old lock
should be on your bucket list for sure. It's just a great experience.
And the Princess small ships are the way to go. I mean, you guys are building obviously the big, beautiful Sun Princess, but your smaller ships are just absolutely lovely. They're a great way to tour the world. Canada, New England, Panama Canal, certainly. And yes, going through the old locks. I mean, literally, if you're going through the old lock and you're coming into the Gatun lock, make sure you go down to the promenade and just stand there. Like you could literally hop off the ship and hop. Yeah. I don't encourage you to do that though, because you'll get thrown off. But you could literally almost step off the ship and step back on.
That's funny. We actually did. We went down and had breakfast, because we went through the first couple of locks. And it's like, oh, okay, we've seen this. So we went down to breakfast, and it was cool. We were right by the window, and we're going up and down and seeing the locks, the water's out. It was really cool.
That's really cool. And one big piece of advice for those of you, if you're doing the partial, so we did the partial, and with the partial, you come from Florida, you go into Gatun Lock, you go into Gatun Lake, the ship turns around and actually goes right back out the same locks. Well, what we did was we did a Princess excursion on a smaller boat of about 200, maybe 250 people, and we went all the way to the Pacific.
Oh, did you? And oh, wow.
What a cool way to do the Panama Canal, because we're on a very small boat, and when we come into the locks are like 20 feet over our heads.
Oh yeah.
And then we have to get lifted up. But yeah, we went under the bridge of the Americas, and then they bussed us all the way back to the ship. So if you're not going to do the entire Panama Canal, do that. At least do the excursion.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've done both. We've done the partial, we've done the all the way through, and both. We love both of them. You can't go wrong with either one of them.
And Becky's one of our clients. She is on the Panama Canal. She's on island for Panama Canal, and she'll be on the Coral Princess for Alaska.
Fantastic. The sister ships.
Yes, they're beautiful ships.
They were actually both built to go through the canal. They're specifically built for the canal. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, that's so cool. And they're gorgeous ships. They're nice size. And as always, your crew is just absolutely. There's something about being on the smaller ship. I think they get to know you a little bit more because it is smaller, and that attention to detail. But you know, one thing I do want to actually mention, I know we're kind of getting close to the end of the hour here. But one thing I do want to mention that I thought was really interesting. So we talked about your medallions earlier and how they can find you for serving you or anything like that. Well, one of the things that happened with us, we had a less than perfect experience at one of the restaurants on the Sky Princess. The next night at dinner, we were in the main dining room. The dining captain from the restaurant found us in the main dining room because of the medallion.
Yeah.
Came over, talked to us for 15 minutes. We talked through the whole situation. He invited us to come to Crown Grill the next night. But I thought that was so cool that it's like, A, he took the time to come talk to us, which is princess service. But B, because we had a medallion on, he knew right where I was. That was really cool.
That's really cool. I love it.
Super cool. And it's just typical princess service, you know, top of the line princess service.
Right.
We got just a little bit of time left. I do want to mention one really super cool thing. You have some new home ports coming to Galveston, Texas, and Port Canaveral, Florida.
Ooh.
Port Canaveral.
Right.
Wow. Another Florida one. And then Galveston. Now, you've been going to Galveston, but you're about to have a bigger presence there, right?
Right. Well, we were there back when I first started in 06. We were there until about 2008. Then we pulled out, and we haven't been back to Galveston since then. So this is actually, we just started up this year. This is our first year back since 2008. And we had the Ruby Princess start us out this spring, and now we're going to have the Regal Princess coming in November. So we're excited to have her. She's going to be a great ship there.
People, that's a Royal class ship. Oh,
Right.
you want to go to Galveston, people? Oh, that's going to be nice. That's going to be nice.
Really nice.
So, and then Port Canaveral, kind of close to my heart, my very, very first cruise ship ever, the Caribbean Princess. Oh,
Mine too. I'm right there with you.
oh, I
Yeah, so
love. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
No, I was just going to say, here's the funny story, Bret. I didn't even want to go on a cruise. It was our 10th wedding anniversary. And in the lead up to the cruise, I'm like, I don't really know if I'm going to go. And so finally, Rebecca said, well, I'm going. You can do whatever you want. And I was like, fine, I'll go on a cruise. And we had the aft balcony. And by day 2, I think it was, we had already booked our next cruise.
That's awesome. I love those stories. It's true. I mean, the very small percentage of the U.S. It's like 3 to 4% have actually cruised before. But once they go, it's the repeat. I mean, it's over 90% go return back to cruising because it's such a great way to vacation. You know,
it's a great way to vacation, and I just wasn't sure like how I was gonna, you know, I was like, well, I don't know. And then it's the fact that I don't have to get in a car to go somewhere. We don't have to pay for that thing to go over there.
Right.
If I want an extra drink at the end of the night, I can have an extra drink as long as I can get back to my cabin. I'm good, you know. And it's like everything is there, and your resort is in a different place every day, so that's kind of cool.
Exactly. Right.
So yeah. So folks, I'm going to wrap this up. We've been going for an hour. Bret, you've been very gracious with your time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here. Really do appreciate it. And to everybody out there, I'm going to put the graphic up one more time. I invite you to come join us on the Sun Princess. We're going to be doing a group cruise. We've been talking about it a lot here tonight. You've been seeing a lot of information about the Sun Princess, so many restaurants, so many venues. It's going to be, if you've been on Princess before, this is going to be unlike anything you've ever been on. I can already tell. I'm so excited. By the way, we have a cove balcony. So if you want to see what those are like, we're going to be down on deck 6, right down by the water line. I would almost go fishing, but we all know you're not supposed to go fishing on a cruise ship because you will get kicked off. But we're going to be literally right down by the water line. So if you're curious about the cove balconies, we will have one. We're going to do a cabin crawl and go check that out. But if you want to come see the Sun Princess, Bret has given us a little extra amenity. So we're going to be giving out some onboard credit to everybody. But October 19th through 26th, 2024, from Fort Lauderdale, 7-night, St. Thomas, San Juan, Princess Keys, 3 full sea days to explore the entire. We're not even going to see the whole ship. I can guarantee you. We're going to need like 2 weeks to see everything on the ship. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best to see everything. And you get to meet the woman of mystery. Miss Rebecca will be there. So you can finally get to meet her and say hello. So everybody, I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Becky, John, Michael, Rick, Greg, Tara, Joe, everybody. I'm going to miss some of y'all. Thank you so much for coming in. And Bret, once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You betcha. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.